Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Gabby and today we're going to be doing the 24-hour reading challenge. It is currently 6 in the morning. I have quite literally just woken up because I just want to get started. Let's go through some of the books that I'm hoping to get through. The first one that we're starting with is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm already a little bit over 200 pages into this, so I think I have roughly 100 pages left, give or take. I honestly have made terrible progress with my August physical TBR this month. So I feel like this is just going to be a great way to kind of get through hopefully most of that. Here is what we have left. Do I think I'll read all these this month? Probably not. I think today I will probably reach for The Bridge Kingdom because I'm in such a fall mood, which to me, fall and winter is totally fantasy. So the weather right now, at least, is kind of like gloomy and chilly. So I don't know, a fantasy is kind of calling my name. I feel like this one, I Who Have Never Known Men, will also be a really good pick because it's quite short. So if I get to the end and I'm like, I need, you know, something to fill up this last little bit of time, hopefully this will suffice. I also am currently reading Babel on my Kindle, so I do have the physical version as well. Maybe we can switch back and forth, but I honestly have no idea. I have no real game plan because I feel like if I go in and I'm like, okay, I want to read this, nothing's getting read. We're just gonna kind of be a little bit leisurely about it, if you will, and, you know, go where we can. And then as the day goes on, I will update whether I choose to do this all in one go or split it up or what have you. Let's get started. I am going to utilize audiobooks a little bit. So currently I have like 3 hours left of listening time on Spotify. So we're going to start with Atmosphere. I'm going to get ready for the day and I'm going to listen to this while I do that. Okay, so we have 21 hours and 48 minutes left, which means that I am 2 hours and 10-ish minutes into this reading challenge, and I have finished Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think that I'm going to give this book 5 stars. Honestly, I did cry at the end. This was just a absolute masterpiece, and I feel like I got so attached to the characters without even realizing it. It's like once I was invested, I was invested, and it just happened like that. This follows Joan on her journey to becoming an astronaut, and she is a gay woman. However, she can't come out because this takes place in mostly the 80s, I believe, when at the time women were only first getting into NASA in general. So obviously at this time we hadn't even gotten into gay rights at all. So there are even points when she is kind of threatened not to come out. However, the woman that she is in love with is on a spacecraft which is failing. You get kind of a dual timeline of her dealing with Vanessa, the woman that she's in love with, being in space on an aircraft that may not make it, while also having the flashbacks to everything sort of leading up to that point. You see how much she cares for her niece, problems she deals with in the workspace being a woman astronaut. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so well told. And the ending actually had me shedding tears. So I think I have to give this a 5 stars. I don't know. This has kind of nothing to do with anything, but I feel like this year I haven't really had very many good reads. And I've been rating some things 5 stars, but nothing's really given me that overall 5-star feeling. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's like my sort of reading slump. However, in terms of how I've been rating and feeling about books this year, I think that this is up there. I forgot, honestly, how much I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. The story was just beautiful. You obviously have the LGBTQ representation. You have dealing with being a woman in a male workspace. And then you have so much cool information about space while also dealing with Joan's personal life. I thought just the whole composition was beautiful. And I would totally recommend this to anyone that even seems the littlest bit interested, even if you're not. Honestly, even if you're not interested, I feel like anyone could really get into this story. Moving on to my next read, I'm going to be picking up Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This is, I believe, the only Annabelle Monaghan book that I haven't read, I think. This came out last year and everyone raved about it. Everyone was talking about this. So I've been looking forward to it for literally a year now. It's August. It's like the last, summer month, even though in Massachusetts it's kind of hot in September too lately, but that's okay. We're trying to get the last of the summer vibes out. I feel like this is going to be a fun, hopefully bingeable read. And then, of course, I think it's supposed to be pretty nice out today, actually. I said that it might not be, but I think it's supposed to be pretty nice out. So I think I'll spend some time outside reading this. It's just over 300 pages, so hopefully it doesn't take me too long. And I'm excited to finally check this one off of my TBR. Oh, I'm so excited. So let's get started. Okay, so we have almost 17 hours exactly left on the clock, which means it's been almost 7 hours into my 24-hour reading challenge, and I have finished Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I think I'm gonna give this book a 4.5 stars out of 5. I really loved this book. I feel like it was honestly absolute perfection. I just didn't get that kind of special, overwhelming feeling that I get with a 5 stars, if that makes sense. In this book, we follow Allie, and she has finally officially filed for divorce with her husband. She's kind of dealing with the grief almost of that relationship, but also the grief of her mother that has passed 2 years earlier. She's kind of finding herself again after this divorce and finally sort of processing everything that's been going on in their marriage with Ethan, our male main character, by her side. I love Ethan. I think he was such a sweetheart. I think there were so many just qualities that really made him a kind of stand-up guy. My only issue is with the ending. I'm gonna try to say this without giving it away, but if you know, you know. I feel like the ending kind of negated the entire point of Allie's story, if that makes sense, because of what ends up happening. But I also do see the major, kind of quote in this is, why do you get a dog if you just know it's going to die? And the reason is, obviously, because you want that joy of having the dog, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you have that time to enjoy with the dog, even though you know it's going to end in sadness. And that is kind of more worth it than the inevitable sadness that comes at the end of a dog's life. So I do think that that message was executed pretty well. I just feel like in Ethan's story, it didn't completely logically make sense to me when we're kind of trying to learn a lesson from Allie's story, if that makes sense. However, I binged right through this. I was meant to record at 50% through, and obviously I didn't. I just sat here and just consumed it all in one sitting. I would say 4.5 stars. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Very summery. The summer vibes were there. There was kayaking, lobsters, just the whole 9 yard really made me feel like I was on the beach, and I really loved that. I don't know what I want to read next. Honestly, I have so many good choices, but I think I'm going to stray from my monthly TBR a little bit. And I don't know, I want to read everything. I think I'm going to read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I know I'm so late to the game on this because this obviously did come out earlier this year. It's been sitting on my TBR. Nothing has felt like the perfect time, honestly. I did start reading it a little bit. I got like maybe 20 pages in. However, I feel like I want a book that I'm really passionate about diving into and that I really am looking to check off my list this year, and this is definitely a major one. So we're gonna reset the vibes a little bit. I have my little Red Bull that my boyfriend got for me because he's so sweet, and he's like, when he came to drop it off, he's like, why are you reading for 24 hours? I was like, it's for my YouTube video. Like, it's gonna be a fun challenge. He's like, I thought you were only gonna do 12. I was like, maybe I'll do 12 today, 12 tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this is how it has to happen. So I think we're kind of getting into that early evening that I can kind of light a candle, maybe put some ambiance on, and hopefully really jump into this because I'm really excited. Okay, so currently it is almost midnight and we still have 12 and a half hours left. And I'm sure you're asking, how did this happen? And I will kindly explain. Basically, just a lot of things came up. The audiobook for this is actually not available on Spotify, and the wait time on Libby is pretty long. So I haven't really been able to utilize today. Now, the problem that I have is tomorrow I'm going to lunch with my family at noon. So here are my choices. Either way, I'm not going to finish by tomorrow at noon. I can A, take a Red Bull, stay up for as long as I can, and then maybe sleep 3 hours, go to lunch, and then try to finish after. Or I can B, sleep now, and then try to finish in the morning and the afternoon. But the thing is, unfortunately, I feel like that takes up so much of my day tomorrow. I kind of feel like we should just power through. I'm just not 100% on drinking a Red Bull, because then what if I get to like 3 a.m. and I'm like so tired, but I can't sleep, but I'm like too tired to read still? Because I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm really tired. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's still up in the air. Anyways, I have about 100 pages left in Sunrise on the Reaping. I am addicted. I'm addicted. It's been just so good. If you don't know, this is the 5th book in the Hunger Games series. Technically, it's the 2nd prequel. So we're getting Haymitch's story. And girl, I have been waiting on this one. Literally. Since I first read The Hunger Games a million years ago, I was like, I need to know what happened to this man now. Being back in this world is just too perfect for me. It's my favorite thing on earth. There's no comparison. Hopefully I can at least finish this tonight. We can get the timer a little bit more down and then kind of see where we're at, I think is the plan. But it is late. I am tired. Do I take a Red Bull? It's 7 in the morning. I just woke up. I did end up going to sleep around like 2, and we have 10 hours and 47 minutes left. So I'm gonna finish Sunrise on the Reaping, and then we're gonna see where we're at from there. But I am determined to get this finished today. So I'm gonna jump it back into it now, and then I'll update when I'm finished. So for Sunrise on the Reaping, I think I'm gonna give this a 5-star. I feel like that's obvious. Like, who hasn't? Who has read the Hunger Games series and would not give this a 5-star? The Hunger Games is like such a comfort series for me. So to be finally getting Haymitch's story is just everything I've dreamed of. I feel like you can't really explain too much other than it is a quarter quell. So there are twice as many people that are in his game. So there are 48 children instead of the normal 24. And then obviously the challenges that go along with that. I really loved how we were able to obviously get the insight to Haymitch's life before the games, as well as what is really meaningful to him and what he did in his own games to kind of defy the Capitol. It gives kind of more of a sentiment to Katniss's story and his role that he plays in that, I think. So having this was just chef's kiss. I loved it. It was great. I still have 9 hours and 30 minutes left, I believe. My head is pounding for some reason. I don't know why. I've just had the worst headache. So I think I'm going to pick something kind of simple to read. I'm just gonna crack a Rebel and I'm gonna push through. Like, decision fatigue is so real right now. And so is just the reading fatigue. I think I may go with Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. This is her most recent release. I honestly haven't seen very many people talking about it, so I feel like this might be a good one to get into. It's really not too long. It's about 300 pages, and I know they're obviously longer, but I think this is what I'm feeling. And then since we have 9 hours left, hopefully I can just sneak one more book in off my physical TBR for the month. So I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Let's get started. So I am just about 200 pages in to Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, and we have about 5 hours, 35 minutes, and 9 seconds left. I am loving this. I'm like just eating it right up. It's the drama, it's the accents, it's everything. It is 11 p.m. So I'm going to go to bed soon. I don't know exactly when, but I definitely want to keep reading. I just had a lot to do today, honestly. I had lunch with my family. My boyfriend came over and we watched Wicked. We're going to see how much more of this that I can get through tonight. And then I will update in the morning on what that looks like. And then we're going to finish out whatever remaining time is left because personally, I just cannot stay up all night. We're following Isolde, who is a model in London, and her boyfriend, Joa, who is a rock star for essentially the biggest band in London. This book is set in the 90s, and they're both incredibly famous. I mean, she's just an absolute top model. They're both pretty young. They're in their 20s. I believe Isolde is 20. And we're kind of just following how their relationship develops. It's definitely more just getting to know the characters instead of any sort of real story so far. But we are seeing their relationship together progress and then also kind of getting some background information on them, which I'm really loving. I'm really liking Isolde as a character. I am not loving Joa, and I think that's the point, though. I think you're not supposed to love him, obviously. They are so obsessed with each other, but so toxic. It's a lot. Them being famous obviously puts a lot of stress on their relationship and them also as individual people. So Joa really does not handle it well at all. However, I'm excited to continue reading this. Again, I'm not sure why it has so many low ratings, but I'm intrigued to find out because I'm really liking it, especially because I liked Magnolia Parks, and you even get a little cameo of Magnolia's dad. I'm gonna keep reading on. The vibes are just immaculate. They're so just superstar wealth, you know, like kind of giving insider knowledge about celebrities and like celebrity drama, which I really like. So we're gonna keep reading. I will update in the morning or if I finish this tonight. Okay, so here is my update on my 24 hours of reading. First off, last night I finished Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. I ate this right up. I can't even lie. It felt easy and quick for me because I was honestly just blowing right through it. I think I'm gonna end up rating this like a 4.5 out of 5. The reason being, I loved the story. I loved the vibes, but I have some small critiques. I think one thing that is a valid complaint is this does not give 90s at all. The only thing that gives 90s is they're like, oh, I don't carry around a cell phone. That's literally about it. That's literally everything else could have taken place in quite literally any other time period. My other issue is that the male main character, Joa, is just so insufferable and so toxic that it's like, oh my God, on what planet could I ever even root for you guys to be together? And mind you, there were definitely some moments kind of early on that I was kind of rooting for them. And I think as the book went on, I definitely was not. However, I feel like that might be the point. And if you're going into this expecting a romance, that's not what you're gonna get. Like, that's just not what you're gonna get. I did see that there's a second book coming out to this new series, I guess. Will I be reading it? I don't know, which sounds crazy because I gave the book a 4.5. I just don't know if I'm that invested. I could personally never see the male main character coming back from how he acted. However, the female main character, I did really like her. I liked the vibes. I think a lot of complaints that I saw were people saying, oh, she only focuses on her looks. Okay, she's a supermodel. And I think there was more depth to her than was let on. I still do think it kind of gave Magnolia vibes. So maybe you'd like this if you liked that. However, I don't know. I've seen so many mixed reviews. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it. I'd probably recommend it if you're in for like a nasty, dramatic, toxic kind of time. If you just love to eat up the drama like I do, then yes, I would say pick it up. Moving on, I got a little piece of book mail today and I'm so happy. It is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This cover is just so pretty. And then the sprayed edges being the metallic silver is everything to me. And then the insides as well. So I'm so happy about this, even though she's thick, but that's okay. I have finally had my holds for the remainder of my monthly TBR come in on Libby. They all came in last night, which is just someone's looking out for me to finish this monthly TBR. But here's the problem. Last night, I was sitting there reading and I closed the book and I'm like, oh, stop my timer. Like, let's film. And I realized my timer was not running. I have no idea how long it was not running for. So right now it says 3 hours. So we're gonna pick up I Who Have Never Known Men. I now have it on my Kindle. I'm about 30% in already. It's like barely over 150 pages, but there are no chapter breaks. However, I'm really enjoying it so far. So I Who Have Never Known Men is basically you're in the point of view of this young girl who is one of 40 women who are plainly trapped in a cage. That's about it. That's all I know so far. There was some great big event in the world that led to these women kind of being rounded up. None of them knew each other in their personal lives. None of them have had any sort of connection. And they're all differing ages. However, we are following the youngest. So far, we're kind of seeing her trying to come up with some sort of act of defiance against these security guards that guard the cage day in, day out. They don't see daylight. Like, they only have 2 meals in a day and they're not sure it's a full day. They're never sure if their days are the same length. They're kind of trying to figure out how to deal with that. And she is obviously someone who is very intelligent as she starts picking up on patterns and trying to get more information about how she got there, how they got there, who these people are that are trying to control them and have them locked in this cage. So very intriguing. I'm really actually enjoying it a lot. We're going to continue this, and then my next update will be when I finish, just because I'm not going to run the clock when my Kindle says I only have about 3 hours left anyways in the book based on my reading speed. We're just rounding at this point. We're just rounding. We're going to see how it goes. And then I will update when I have finished this and we have finished our 24-hour reading challenge. I have finished I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman to officially wrap up our 24-hour reading challenge. I think overall I would give this book probably a 3.5 stars. It's pretty short, so I can't really say too much about it without giving a lot away. I think for a short and quick read, I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a good time. I was entertained and really curious to see what happened next. But I feel like I expected more. I expected to learn more about what happened in the past and kind of what happened to the current planet that they were on. So that was a little bit disappointing for me, but otherwise I really enjoyed it and I think it was nice and it was interesting. So to recap on all the books that we read in today's video, first it was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I rated this a 5-star. Next it was Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, and I think I rated this a 4 or a 4.5. Next was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, and I rated this a 5-star. Then I read Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, and this was, I think, a 4-star. And then finally, we finished off with I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, and this was a 3.5. Overall, I think this was a successful little readathon that we had going on. Even though I wasn't able to do it in one go, I found some really good reads, and I'm excited to have checked these off my list and finally get some down off my physical TBR. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.